That's what I like about Raiden. Where's he got to get to? He's already a god of thunder. The god of thunder. He's the protector of Earthrealm. How's he gonna better himself? He's already got incredible, he's not allowed to compete in the tournament because he's got god powers, right? So this is what I like about what Raiden's teaching me. It's like, you don't have to have somewhere else to get to with bettering yourself. What's he gonna better himself to what? You know what I mean? What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome forward to another episode of Nerd Life Coaches. I'm Sachin.
I'm Alex.
Today is going to be a very different tone. I'm starting off the episode talking about Mortal Kombat. And if you can't notice, there's a very serious tone about it. This is not a joke. When we talk about Mortal Kombat, you could say, yeah, it's a video game. Cool. You could have that attitude, and I'm not here to dictate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the attitude of serious. Because let's put it into context. Let's say there is a tournament held once a generation. Every 50 years, there's a tournament held. And it determines the fate of the world. It determines whether or not our world gets absorbed by some mad conqueror who wants to take over and enslave everyone. That means no more jobs, no more, I want to buy the latest iPhone. Fuck you, no. I want to go and hang out with my friends, no. You're not doing any of that. You're either going to die in a really gruesome way, or you're just going to be enslaved and building monuments for this great conqueror.
Sounds like capitalism.
I'm talking about physical monuments, not like metaphorical.
But yeah,
okay.
Metaphorically speaking.
But this is a different type of enslavement. When I talk about Mortal Kombat, that's the severity I'm taking it with. It's not just it was a cool concept. Let's take it realistically. Let's take it as though it was really happening. There's a tournament held every 50 years. We've lost 9 in a row.
It's game time. You got to win the 10th. That's the whole point, though, isn't it?
They have to win. He has to win 10 tournaments in a row to be able to consume our world, according to the elder gods who created this tournament, right? Now, the government ain't going to do shit about it. What are you going to do? He's going to come and absorb our world. You ain't got nukes and all that, ain't going to work. Sorry, it's not happening. What's the severity of this tournament is not like, oh my God, it's all doom and gloom. Every single person is facing Mortal Kombat every single day of our lives because we don't have tomorrow promised. Just like the people who are fighting in the tournament, they don't have tomorrow promised. So when I talk about this thing, it's not like, I'm not coming at it with, yeah, it's some fun thing. No, it's a serious thing, bro. Look at what they're going through, right? Johnny Cage, he's an absolute idiot. He's self-absorbed. This describes a lot of us, how we're living, yeah? My mom told me that I'm Johnny Cage to her.
Can you see yourself in Johnny Cage?
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. It's not something that I'm trying to lean away from. I enjoy it. I enjoy the spotlight. I enjoy being good at not just good at what I do. I enjoy being great at what I do and being known for being great at what I do. Johnny Cage is very self-absorbed, and he doesn't give a shit about the fate of the world because he thinks that he's fighting in a movie. He thinks that the tournament is being caught on camera, and it's like, oh, just people are getting a bit too into it. Chill out, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Like, what do you mean finish him? Is this like a what? He's getting confused, and this is what when a lot of people talk to me about entrepreneurship, like this is what Steve Hardison calls dry rain, right? It's serious, like it's deathly serious, like Mortal Kombat, finish him and all that, and it's not.
And it's not.
The level it's serious is also the level that it's not serious, and they go hand in hand. You can't take them seriously, and you can't take it not seriously. Yeah. Because this is your life. This is, there's this fight. Scorpion's fighting someone. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Baraka or someone. He's beating the shit out of them, and then he finishes the fight, right? And Shang Tsung goes, finish him, and he's like, no. And it's because he had a conversation with Raiden before. Raiden was like, don't kill people just because you can, innit? Chill, relax. And Scorpion's like, I won't kill him. And Shang Tsung just takes his soul straight away. He's like, fuck you, Baraka, you lost, I'm taking your soul. And it's this fight really, it shows me something interesting about Scorpion, right? He's a demon. He's the only reason he's alive and like inhabiting flesh is so that he can get vengeance. So he doesn't give a shit about humans' life. All he's trying to do is get from A to B as quickly as possible. If you're in my way, I'll cut you down. Fuck off. However, Raiden is influencing him. And we can say Raiden is like the voice of reason, the voice of love, something like that. Raiden influences him from a place of like, come away from your selfish desires of vengeance, of, oh, I need to get you guys for something that you might have done to me. And he's showing him a better way. And I think that's relevant for all of us. You know, maybe you don't want to kill people. Maybe your thing is like, I'm self-absorbed because I got to get money. I got to pay these bills. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. It's like we put leashes on ourselves. I was saying this to someone in a coaching conversation. My whole thing is I want to unleash people. What's the leash that we're currently on? Scorpion's leash is revenge. Mine has been for a long time. A lot of people's leash is money. I've got to pay these bills, etc., etc. I've talked a lot. I don't want to fucking monologue the whole thing, innit? You know, I could.
It sounds really like you could. I'm investing in it as well. I'm like, yeah, this is sick.
I could spend the whole episode talking about Mortal Kombat.
But do you know what though? It's really interesting because like, I like the it's serious and it's not serious. That there's such a distinct, I don't know what the word is, like I use the word blend, innit? Like blend between the two. And I think that's beautiful because it's like, I don't know, man, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, you can take all of this stuff seriously. Oh, and like, you know, what am I doing in my life? And like all of my worries and all of this and all that, take it really seriously. Or you can just like not, like, and they go hand in hand as well.
Comes back to what we were talking about, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, last episode.
I think the reason why Goku is such a great fighter is because he has that. The training serious and it's not. The training serious and it's not. Scorpion's not a powerful warrior. Yes, he's got all of these crazy abilities. He can teleport. He can set you on fire. He's got that, get over here.
I used to love that, man. That was my move. I used to play it with my next door neighbor. His name was Jimmy. We used to play together on the one of the, I can't remember which one, the Mega Drive or something. And he used to get so annoyed every time I was Scorpion because he knew what was coming. Get over here.
And that's summarizing a generation right there. Those words, get over here.
Yeah.
So Scorpion's not a great fighter to me. He's not, excuse me, he's a great fighter, but he's not a powerful warrior. Powerful, what does it mean? Well, when you're powerless, you have no choices. When you're powerful, what we're describing is the amount of choice that you have available to you in any moment in time.
And there's even in the word powerful, like powerful warrior, it's like when you said it, it's like, to me, it's like you're honing something. You're choosing to hone something into this or through that. I don't know which way you want to put it.
Yeah, he's being a channel for it, right? But he's not. Scorpion's not. He's being closed off. He's not powerful. He's a great fighter, but he's not powerful. And I'm seeing this in a lot of, like, because I started kickboxing training. When I talk to people who fight, some of my friends, they've either fought professionally for a living or currently fighting for a living. So what I've noticed is a lot of their lives are messy outside of the ring. And then in the ring, they're trying to channel this thing, and you've got an unclear channel. It's like with the audio, right? If you had a crunchy audio, like you'd get pissed off. I wouldn't even notice.
It'd probably be your beard causing it. That's why.
I wouldn't give a fuck, but like, okay, on a professional one, I would, but like, I wouldn't notice it because I'm not looking out for the ear, right? This is what I've noticed with Scorpion and how it relates to all of our lives is, yeah, you might be great at what you do, but are you an open channel for love? It's the greatest force out there. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. It is the most powerful force in the world.
So it's funny you say it because I was thinking about this morning. It's like love is like, it's our superpower. That every single individual person's superpower is love. And I was literally thinking this morning when I was brushing my teeth. That's how profound this was. Don't roll your eyes. But yeah, it's like, it's such a powerful force for everything. Like you said, that's the thing that if we're going to channel it, we were saying about channeling something, right? If you channel love, look at like the way that your life can play out. That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, and you can channel whatever the fuck you want. Look at Scorpion, he's channeling hate. He's getting used and manipulated by Quan Chi.
Yeah.
Who's like, oh, this idiot, all he wants is revenge. Fuck it, I'll give it to him. And he's going to get the illusion of revenge. He's going to take other people out in the process, which I'm happy about. And I get to use him. We come back to capitalism. This is what's happening with a lot of people. We're being used because we think one track mind, pay these bills, do that. Like we're in the monotony of everyday living. And we fall into it sometimes. We're not immune to this, like we're not sitting on the fucking mountaintop saying to you, oh yeah, like we're other people. We're on the path. We fall into the monotony. You know what? Fuck we, yeah, I'll just use myself. I fall into the monotony sometimes of I've got calls to make, I've got to go to the gym, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. And it's the doing. And if Mortal Kombat teaches me anything, if it's like serious and also don't take it too seriously, if Mortal Kombat's teaching me anything, it's that any single moment in time is very serious. So treat it sacredly. But also you get lots of moments. Don't treat it seriously. If you wake up tomorrow, treat it seriously. Like, fuck me, I woke up today sick. Give it that, like, this is why it's good to have a morning ritual. It's not for bettering yourself, in my opinion, yeah? I don't want to have a ritual to better myself. It doesn't make sense. There's nothing to better. I'm already infinite. But what it is to pay respect to something. To be like, wow, like to acknowledge something outside of me, like, whoa, I'm not in control of waking up tomorrow and it happened.
There's also like, I think there's a grounding element to it as well. It's like, a morning ritual, as you were saying, it's like, oh, I'm trying to like better myself, I'm trying to add loads of like stuff to me. Like when I do my morning routine, which is either going to the gym, well, let's take the gym out of it because that's like a clear doing thing, right? A betterment thing, should we say? Take that out. When I'm just in my room and I'm stretching and I'm just like doing my thing, I'm grounding myself into just life in general, just like I'm tuning in, I'm plugging into something. I'm not trying to like take away from that. I'm not trying to like do too much. It's like plug straight in. Plug and play.
That's what I like about Raiden. Where's he got to get to? He's already a god of thunder. The god of thunder. He's the protector of Earthrealm. How's he gonna better himself? He's already got incredible, he's not allowed to compete in the tournament because he's got god powers, right? So this is what I like about what Raiden's teaching me. It's like, you don't have to have somewhere else to get to with bettering yourself. What's he gonna better himself to what? You know what I mean? But he meditates.
Yeah.
He's plugging into something, like you said. And he, Liu Kang's talking to him one time. He goes, I'm going to go and consult with the elder gods. And Liu Kang just like, bruv, with the earth's in trouble and you're basically fucking off to go and talk to your mates about what shall I do, seeking counsel. And the elder gods forsake him. They don't talk to him back. And he's pissed off. He comes back to earth and he goes to Liu Kang, oh, like, we're in trouble, basically. We're in the shit. What are we going to do? And Liu Kang's like, all of this stuff is nonsense. Mortal Kombat, the elder gods, all of that. Shao Kahn's coming. What are we going to do? This is all crap, what you've taught me. And Raiden keeps the faith. Not in the actual practice of Mortal Kombat. It goes beyond that. It goes, all right, the elder gods have designed this tournament to do one thing and one thing only, to prevent the merging of the realms. And it's not on a personal level like, oh, that's unfair. If the realms merge, then and all of them become one, it will result in the emergence of this, who was it? It was like Onaga, the Dragon King. Like, they're all being manipulated by this thing that wants to merge the realm and become one again. Longer story, big side tangent. What I'm getting at with Raiden, yeah? He keeps the faith. He's like, oh, okay, so the thing is designed to prevent that from happening. So all we've got to do is let Shao Kahn start merging the realms, then the elder gods will interfere. But because Liu Kang is caught up in his personal thinking about this is unfair, what are we going to do, it's Earth, blah, 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 he doesn't get it. But Raiden has got the let's call it foresight, to take out the personal thinking and look at the universal. So not only is he not interested in bettering himself, he's looking at humanity as a whole. How can I contribute to the betterment of humanity? That's what I'm on. That's what this thing is teaching me. Why? Look, I could better myself. I could get a 6-pack. It's probably going to happen with all this fucking training I'm doing. I don't really care. I could make £1 million in the next. I told you, my mates do stocks, or like some of them they're always doing like sick stuff. They've offered to teach me. I could. Not interested. Betterment of humanity. That sounds interesting. And it's not even for the outcome. Oh, look at all these great things. Yeah, stuff will come. I don't even know what's going to come out of it. But who do I get to become? What kind of journey am I going to go on? What kind of anime gets written about me in my head?
I was going to say, who's writing it about you? No, but it's funny though, because like it points to like the universal aspect of stuff, like something bigger than us, innit? And that's what I'm getting. Like what you're saying about Raiden is like he's pointing at there's something bigger than me and you right now. There's something bigger than us that we're fighting for want of a better term. And that's a really powerful lesson, because then, yeah, I guess like for me, like hearing that, I'm like that plugs me into like what you're saying about like how can I help better humanity? You know, is it through doing a bunch of stuff for myself? Probably not. Is it about doing a bunch of stuff that can actually be impactful? And that's the difference, is impact, isn't it? What's the impact?
And it's also like, this is a place to come from. It's not a get to. It's not once I get there, then I'll be impacting. No, fuck all of that, man. If I'm coming from this place where I'm deeply knowing, and there's a difference between knowing and belief, remind me to come back to it. If I'm coming from this place where I'm deeply knowing that this is about something way bigger than me, then the way I come into conversations is completely different. The way I'm being with people is different. This
reminds me of like what I was saying before when we were setting up. We've got a lad in here and he was helping us set up, right? And I was like, wow, look how much better the shot looks in the camera. Like you'll see when you're watching this episode, it looks way better than the previous 3 episodes. Don't get me started. Anyway, it's the same equipment, it's the same camera, it's the same tripod, it's the same lens, it's the same lighting, it's the same apartment. Everything's the same. The only thing that's different is the way that the equipment is being used. Where we've used the equipment in a different way, positioned it differently, different settings, and the output of that on the screen is entirely different. Same for life, isn't it? Like it's all the same equipment. I haven't got anything. I'm not gonna require a new piece of equipment that I can like plug into the front of my brain. It's not like the Matrix out here where I can like put something in the back of my head and start downloading some data.
It ain't cyberpunk, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's none of that. It's like this is our equipment, our brain, our body, our soul. If we change our perceptions and if we change our perspective, then the way we're using our equipment is entirely different. It becomes like a more profound use of the equipment. Could just use it for basic stuff like we were, just, yeah, let's put the tripod there and just shoot in it. But if you actually use it properly, look at the difference. I'm gonna look stupid if these shots don't look good, Aladdin.
Well, it makes me think like, what setting are we on?
Yeah.
Are we on auto settings?
Ooh.
Or are we adjusting those settings every day?
Are we on manual?
I want a fully engaged manual. Look at we were watching Star Wars yesterday. Anakin's like, this autopilot's gonna get us killed, R2.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Good callback.
That's a catch and a fucking half.
Good callback right there.
Bruv, look at what you just said. This autopilot's gonna get us killed. There's so much gold in that. Wow. And it's like that for all of us. You know, like Raj was here the other day. He's fucking jacked. He looks like he could eat you for breakfast. He looks like a silverback gorilla, bro. Fucking hell. I know he's not going to be mad about me saying that. And we're going to get him on the podcast one day.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
But he, wow, shit, why did I bring him up? Oh, the thing about like autopilot. I was talking to him about being in the gym, right? He knows exactly what this means, and he sees other people doing it, and he has been this guy. You know, if you're training from being insecure, doesn't matter what you do, it will never be enough. Even if you get the results. I've never been jacked in my life, yeah.
I've been some people like that, man. It's mad. I'm not gonna name names.
No, we don't name
Point
names.
at me.
But tell me what you're gonna say.
Like you can see in it, like people are like they're just making themselves more and more jacked because they're trying to find meaning in it in a way. Like they're trying to find something. They're trying to find something profound in it, but you don't find the profoundness in it. You channel the profoundness, right?
We're making assumptions about what they might be looking for, but I get what you
mean. No, I'm not speaking about anyone specific. I'm just like we're generally like we're generalizing it quite a bit, obviously. But it's like they're trying to like they're using it's the use of settings, right? It's what we said. How am I using my settings? They're using their settings to try and search for something more. But if you're going to tie it back to the Raiden thing from before, Raiden's like, there is nothing more than this. I'm a god, innit? Like, there's nothing more for me to attain here.
Yeah, but that's it. So let's say like we have this saying between us, like, doesn't get much better than this. This is it. It being like the totality of existence is in this moment. It can sound so corny. It can sound like you've heard it a billion times before. It
Very
sounds
woo-woo.
And it sounds like that, but it's also like it's been oversaid and overdone, yeah?
Live, love, laugh.
Yeah, like stuff like that. But really, like, if you unpack it, Raiden is living as that. He's a living embodiment of, I'm the pinnacle of fucking get to somewhere. What more do you want to get?
Can't get more than this.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a metaphor for us to be, that's why we're doing this podcast, like breaking down the metaphors, right? Living into that as a place to come from, right? If this is the totality of existence in this moment right now, if this is all I've ever got and ever will have, and having stuff isn't going to make this more. This is why people kill themselves after getting massive success. Because they think that it was going to deliver something. Or release the fucking death is the final release, apparently. I don't know. I was looking for it for a long time. That's why I can say it.
I love that there's one thing that Jim Carrey says where he says, I wish everyone could be famous and have all of the riches in the world to see that that's not it. Like, that's not the answer. That's not what you're looking for. That's powerful, like, in that in itself.
All right, I've been distracted. What are you playing? Tell me about the game you're playing. I'm doing it right now. Tell me about the game you're playing. Sorry? Right, Clash of Clans. Let's use it as an example. We're here, we'll roll with it. So, Clash of Clans is something I don't ever want to talk about on the podcast.
Well, it seems like we are.
Here we are, but here we are. This is a but, not an and. Okay, you know what? And here we are. Clash of Clans isn't something interesting to me. I don't give a shit about fucking Clash of Clans. What's it teaching us? Build something and protect it.
What? What's Kombat to you? Just punch.
No, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Do you hear what we were talking about?
Yeah, but you're kind of the same thing with this.
Yeah, but you can, no, hold on. I agree and I disagree. Because you can find the
profundity in anything.
Even what you said, build and protect. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but the profoundness in that is like, what are you building? What are you choosing to live your life by? What are you choosing to protect? Your values, the way you live your life, all of that stuff.
This is what ties in.
There's a profound message right there in Clash of Clans.
All right, I'll concede that point, but it ties into why I was really found deep respect for Alex's girlfriend. She might join us on the podcast one day. I hope she does. It's not that I didn't have this for her before, but something's really shifted in me when I started looking for the gold in her. it's really easy to look at people who don't live the way I do or live according to things that make sense to me. It's really easy to just be like, or it's easy to just be like, yeah, you don't get it, and just kind of cast them aside. But I started looking at who she is, and without you, like take you out of it, just looking at who she is and who she's being in the world, I was like, wow. Build and protect, right? Who is she? She's building herself as a woman who wants to create a family, and she's protecting her values. And not just protecting them from like got outside people are trying to fuck with it. It's not that. But just more of a like, she's standing in the world for who she wants to be. And that in itself is a preservation of traditional values. Well, it could be any values, take traditional out of it, but that's her values. And I started seeing this and I was like, wow, I'm actually really inspired by her. Despite what the world is telling her, despite what social media would have her believe, despite what other people want her to say, or, you know, what's politically correct is what I meant by the last one. Despite all of those things, she's being herself. And this is an acknowledgement that goes out to a lot of people. It's something not to be proud of, like, yeah, beat my chest about it. But just the difference between knowing and belief. Belief is laced with doubt. Knowing is silent power. And I feel like she walks with that. I feel like she has this silent knowing about her that how she's living is really powerful for her. And like she's onto something. And just that, I really respect that, you know, and it's teaching me more. All of my mates and people around me who are in relationships, their partners are just, the women keep teaching me, this is what I want to look for in a partner. This is what I want to, and she's teaching me that in a big way.
It's like what you just said there. I can't remember if I shared this on another episode, but we'll roll with it anyway. The difference between a belief and truth. A belief feels like it needs to be protected and defended. Truth doesn't. So when you're living your truth, there is no like, oh God, I need to protect this. It's just like, yeah, this is just how I'm living it.
I want to read this post that I wrote recently. I read it, I sent it to my mum and dad, and my mum was like, you know, she doesn't often she doesn't often say stuff about stuff that I've written or like stuff that I've posted, but I've got to find it in my group chat. She doesn't often she doesn't often comment. She likes stuff, like she'll put, you know, a like on.
But she won't like add to the.
Yeah, she won't add to the discussion.
Even that in itself, right? But I know you want to come onto this, but like even that in itself is like, look how the world is setting us up in it. You can just like stuff at a distance and not engage in it and not have any. I don't know if like opinion's the word I want to use, but like not have contribution other than I like this or I'm skipping past it. Like there's no like, there is opportunity, but the world's not teaching us that. It's like it or not and move on to the next one. Like it or not, move on to the next one. Like look at it, Instagram, TikTok,
fucking Instagram,
Tinder,
many
like it or not, move on to the next one. No, like if you want to be real. Like it or not, it's all the same stuff, innit? Shop windows, like it or not, move on to the next shop. Like, that's what a high street is, right?
The Tinder one killed me. Shit, you've seen me do that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like it or fuck off.
No, but you see how the world's setting us up for that, innit? It's like, and what I'm hearing in that is like, it's not allowing us to do that, you know? Just pause, okay, what are my values? You know, what am I trying to build and protect? You can't build and protect when you're like it or fuck off.
It's a deeper place to come from. And that's really what it is, man. Like, the depth of this experience, if coming back to Raiden, right? The depth that he's coming from is that, this is the totality of existence. There ain't much more than this, bro. I'm a fucking god already, yeah? I can electrocute you. I can fry your fucking insides. I could. Trying to use these powers for good. I'm meditating and all that, yeah. But the depth that he's coming from in his being, you look at he's dealing with this idiot, Johnny Cage. He's dealing with some idiot who just doesn't give a shit about the fate of Earth. He's like, we're making a movie and making money. This is exceptional coaching on Raiden's part. He's coming from such a deep place that he says something to Johnny Cage. He says something to Liu Kang afterwards. He goes, I can't remember exactly the wording, but it's something to the effect of, he is very important because he's showing us who, it's like the audience, the gamer, the person who's playing the video game, that's Johnny Cage representing. Because like the gamer is like, yeah, this is a tournament, whatever. Like if we didn't have the context of playing a video game and like I want to fuck people up in Mortal Kombat, the context of the audience is some fighting tournament. I don't know, like, and it's kind of like we're spectating.
Yeah, why is this tournament happening, kind of thing? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Spectating and participating, two totally different things. But we'll come on to that later. I want to read this post.
Oh yeah.
Who would I need to be to alter my relationship with fear? Oh, I'll tell you what my mom said first. She was like, it really makes sense, and it really makes me feel like there's nothing to be scared of. And I was like, fuck. Sick to hear that.
That's cool, man.
As a possibility, just for right off the fucking bat, yeah. When I say as a possibility, in our circles it can get overused, yeah, but for people who don't know what this is, I'm not saying this is truth. I'm just saying it's not false either. I'm just saying it's something that's possible. As a possibility, the greatest way to die is like a ripe fruit that has fallen from a tree because it is full of nourishment. Nourishing ourselves from living so that on our deathbeds we're full. What a way to go. The only thing inhibiting this poetic death is the fear of living, which results in waiting. Waiting for the right moment, for the right circumstances, or the right anything for that matter. In the interest of ripening, there is no right anything. Osho says, the right moment is here now, and I'm not going to wait for anybody. I'm going to live right now. I take this to mean that the best time to do anything is now. The best time to call someone you'd love to coach is now. That is where living and ripening will occur. My ripening was put off for my first 2 years as a coach because I kept waiting. Waiting until the path became clear before walking it. I've come to experience and deeply see that life works the opposite way around. As I walk, the path is created. As though lost in a forest, the way is created by walking. The way out is created by walking. A terrorist's greatest weapon is fear. The USA refuses to negotiate with terrorists, and I also want to take their standpoint on negotiating with the terrorists in my head. I want to be the ripened fruit. So rather than deal with fear, negotiate with terrorists, I choose to live. In that living, life unfolds, and the business I want to create is created. The actions I take don't have to be controlled by fear. They can be guided by love. My favorite question right now is, who are you becoming? By refusing to negotiate with fear and choosing to live in my own ripening, I am becoming the fruit of life. Who are you becoming with the choices you're making? I wanted to read that for a number of reasons, but the main one that's coming through me right now is just, I want to ask that question. If this, like coming back to Raiden, and if this is the totality of existence and all of that, who are we becoming with the choices we're making? If we got our lives on repeat, if it's monotonous, who are we becoming? We're becoming confused. As a possibility of the answer.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, it's like there's even the negotiating with terrorists in your head, right? It's like I was thinking, how does that tie into you are not your thoughts? You know, we hear it all the time, innit? We say it all the time to people probably as well, you're not your thoughts. And it's like, the way I was seeing that ties in is like, you're having the thoughts, I'm not good enough, oh, don't do this because of that, or because of this thing that happened in the past, like means I am this way. Is it like they're the terrorists in it because they're keeping us in fear. They're keeping us in fear. They're keeping us away from possibility. You know, using possibility at the start of that, right? They're keeping us away from possibility. They're keeping us on track, like one single track. Like, okay, this is just stay on this little, like, don't dare, like, keep off the grass. Keep off the grass, right? There's something from another time. A friend was telling a story about that. But it's telling us, like, yeah, the fear's there. You can choose to, like, keep yourself in the fear, and you can keep living your life like that, or don't negotiate with the terrorists. You know, see that the thoughts are, yeah, look, I'm not gonna entertain you. You can still be there. Terrorism's alive. You know, like, the thoughts will still be there. You can just choose not to entertain them, like, negotiate with them, like, not to bring them into the party, like, don't bring them into the house, kind of thing.
And you know, it sounds fucked here, because like someone was telling this story on a podcast. I can't remember where it was, but they were like, basically, someone who I love was kidnapped by some terrorists, and they were demanding $5 million, and the government said, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Sorry, love.
Sorry, love.
Suck it up, innit?
Yeah,
fuck you.
Hell.
Now, we could take it as a suck it up, fuck you, but let's just use it as a metaphor, for example, right? Who would we be if we refused to negotiate with the terrorists in our head? Now, acting in spite of them making demands. Because, bro, like, you give one terrorist $5 million, why wouldn't you give the country be bankrupt in minutes? It's that we bankrupt ourselves. Really, if you look at it, like, we do it all the time. I'm negotiating with, I want to work out today. The terrorist in my head is fearing, or don't work out. If you don't work out, then negotiation starts, slippery slope.
Yeah, it's true. It brings me on to, like, what I wanted to talk about with Zelda as well. Let me see if I can find the quote. But yeah, like, I've been playing Zelda on the Switch. Breath into the Wild, or Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
I'm not even playing the game. I don't even know what the fucking name is.
Sick game, by the way. But it's like there's so many lessons in that. Like, the story in itself, right? Like, Link's story. So Link's like the main character. You've got Zelda the princess. Link is like the character that you play. The game starts, right? You wake up, you're Link, and he doesn't have any idea, like, who he is. He just thinks, oh, I'm just a boy, innit? I'm just anyone. I'm just living my life. And the whole story of Link through the game is he's remembering, or channeling, shall we say, his greatness. He's learning to channel his greatness. He's the one who's been born to protect, to tie back into that, to protect the princess and to end the war with this Ganon.
Ganondorf.
Yeah, no, just Ganon.
Oh.
Don't add a dwarf to it. It's not Harry Potter.
I've played Smash Brothers. He's called Ganondorf in there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Or maybe Star Fox. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, yeah, Ganon. But anyway, so it's like his journey is like you're learning to channel the greatness, right? And it's sick. And there was this scene where it's right before the end, right before you go into to battle the Ganondorf, and
fuck that one up for you, haven't I?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna be able to hit. Like, you asked me the other day as well. You ever seen Harry Potter? I was like, no. But anyway, we'll watch them. No, it's bear of a minute. We'll review it.
What if there's a lot? You're watching Naruto, for fuck's sake. There's 1,000 episodes minimum.
God, no excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Look, so in this particular scene, like, Link's like, so Zelda's being caught by Ganon. She's like, whatever. He's on her way to save her, and he's in the castle, and he's found her study, and he's reading her diary. And it's from her perspective on him. She's like, oh, I really want to, like, speak to Link, and, like, he's basically her bodyguard, is a better way to put it. And she's like, oh yeah, but he seems really, like, he's in himself. He doesn't say much. He's like, you know, minimal. Like, he's very, like, what's the word? Stoic, as people use, like, very here. Like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy. Like the guy we bumped into yesterday didn't seem like the kind of guy that wanted to have a conversation. He's like that kind of
Gary.
Yeah.
Shout out Gary.
Shout
Fuck
out
it,
Gary.
man. I got a lot of love for that guy for no
Yeah.
reason.
But it was like very like it was obvious, isn't it? Doesn't want to have a conversation. Anyway, so in this thing in the diary, she's basically recounting this one particular encounter. And she was like, Link, can I ask you something? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, what's going on? Like, like, I'm scared to like say things. Not scared, but like, I get the vibe that you don't want to talk. And he's like, I do, but I'm just caught up in my own stuff that's going on. Like, I'm the one who's supposed to protect you and protect the world from Ganon. Like, there's a lot of pressure that comes on that. Like, people are seeing me as like the hero. I'm just a child, basically. Like a teenager. He's like, I'm just a child. Like, there's all this pressure. Like, how can I focus on anything else? And then she says, she drops this bar in the diary, which is a long way around to get to it, right? But context.
Thanks for the context.
Great context, because
Yeah.
listen to the bar now. Everyone has struggles that go unseen by the world. I was so absorbed with my own problems, I failed to see his. She was just thinking like, I'm the princess. Like, oh my God, like there's so much pressure on me. I've got to do this training. My dad wants me to do this. You know, I'm supposed to be like the face of the, I don't know, the kingdom, etc., etc. She was so wrapped up in that. And like, oh yeah, I can't talk to Link about this, like, da 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 da. And then he's over here thinking, oh yeah, but I'm the protector of the realm. Like, I'm the one who's supposed to save us all from Ganon. Like, I'm the child of prophecy. Like, all of these struggles. And that, like, to me, that's a bar, man. Like, everyone has struggles that go unseen by the world.
Yeah.
I was so absorbed with my own problems, I failed to see his. And it's like, how often does that happen in our lives? I'm so absorbed in what's going on in my life, not in a narcissistic way or anything like that. I'm seeing my life through my own perspective, and I'm failing to see that other people can be seeing life in their own perspective as well.
And that's what really causes a breakdown in a lot of relationships. You know, like we're looking at creating extraordinary businesses. If I'm just coming at the world from like singular lens, I've got stuff to do, you're a means to an end. I'm not shaking my head for no reason. I'm shaking my head because like it's just confused. It's confusion. But really deeply seeing someone else's world, even if you can see a way out of it for them. Deeply seeing that there's a struggle going on there and being with them in the struggle, that's different.
And it comes like down to like a point of understanding, right? You were saying before, like it's a come from. I'm choosing to come from understanding. Like with this scenario with Link and Zelda, it's like help me help you in it. Like help me to understand your perspective, and I'll help you to understand mine.
And this is why I think video games are a great analogy for everyone's life. You're the main character. The fate of the world depends on you, because it's your world. But the fate of your world depends on you. What are you choosing to create? As I say, what's your motherfucking get down? You know, one thing I love about Wes Watson, yeah, I might not talk to him anymore. I might not, you know, be aligned with the vision or the, you know, whatever, man. I could say all that stuff. The one thing I really love about him is his fucking get down. Just take what he's doing it for out of it, yeah, but just his attitude towards what he's doing. He's committed. He's summarizing one word as commitment. Now, if you look at everyone who's struggling, right? They're committed to the struggle. Do you hear people say it? Oh, I'm in the struggle, bro. What are you struggling with? What do you want to be committed to struggle? I want to be committed to ease. I want to be committed to complete ease, delight.
And peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be committed to struggle. Sounds like a horrible way to live. Same with Raiden. What's he committed to? I'm going to free Earthrealm. His come from is such a deep place of, his come from is so deep, right? I'm committed to freeing Earthrealm from the tyrannical claws of this idiot Shao Kahn, who's actually like not so different to me. He's just other side of the coin. I believe in something, he believes in something. I believe this is the right way, he believes this is the right way. He's trying to get somewhere, that's the difference. He's trying to get somewhere, I'm not. His come from is so deep, right? Like, he changes Johnny Cage. And Raiden is a pillar of strength for all of the fighters who, look at these people, they're mad. Like, Sub-Zero frees people and shatter them, and he runs this, he's the head of the Lin Kuei, this organization of ninja assassins who kill people regularly. That's what they're hired for. Scorpion, fucking Hellfire Ninja, come back from the dead.
Oh shit, I forgot we had them here.
Yeah, give me Scorpion real quick.
We're not going to get Sub-Zero because his leg's falling off.
Yeah, Raiden is a pillar of strength for this guy. Like, do you know what you gotta be like? Not what you gotta have, what you gotta be like. For this guy who's not fucking having it. They killed my family, I'm gonna set fire to all of them. I'm gonna rip their heads off. When I was young, I was getting abused by people, by my family members. I was like him. Do you know who my Raiden was? Me. I had to become my own Raiden. I'm not trying to tell an inspirational story here. It's everyone. You are your own Raiden. Be it. Bro, I've got such a strong Raiden in my life as my beliefs, as my knowing, yeah? The Scorpion in me subsides to become a fucking powerful warrior because he's still there. Like Wes Watson, I would love to be the Raiden in his life because he's like this.
And you know what? It's like, even in that, right? It's like with the Link story in Zelda, he's like, yeah, but I'm like just a kid. Like, why has everyone got all this hope in me? And then, but then there's also the part of him like, yeah, but maybe I am this prophecy. I've been frozen for 100 years, and now I've been released to like kill Ganon. That's where the story starts. And he's like, maybe I am this person. Like, maybe I am. And it's like, a lot of the time in life, we only see that in it. We only see Scorpion. We only see, oh, I'm just a boy. It's just little old me. But actually, what if all of this stuff that we're talking about is true? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the place that I want to be living in, is like in the possibility of it. Like in the possibility of, I can actually do something about my life. I can make a change. I've written a book about my journey. Like, it's basically that. I went from depressed and suicidal and, you know, whatever, to like how I'm living now. It's like a complete 180.
And look how proud of ourselves we are. You know, we don't really talk about it that much, do we?
Not really, but
it's because we're being it. So.
Yeah, but no, what I was gonna say is like, we're just ordinary, innit?
Yeah,
you see what I mean? It's like, there's nothing that I've got
that other people
don't, that 100%. You don't have, that Aladdin doesn't have, whatever. Like, we're channeling that, whatever that thing is, right? With Raiden, or we're channeling like the links. Yeah, what if I am the chosen one? What if I am the child of prophecy? What if I am this great protector of the realm that people keep telling me about and reminding me of all the time, even though I feel like I'm just a child, living in the possibility of it.
You know, I've met a lot of people who love video games. One guy who I met, he said like Call of Duty stopped him from killing himself. I was like, sick. I can relate. Sounds strange, right?
Because there's a lot of killing involved in Call of Duty. Yeah,
it sounds a bit strange. I was like, tell me why. And him and his wife haven't had sex in a long time. Can't remember how long. I said, do you think she wants to have sex? He goes, yeah, probably. All right. Coming back to what you said about, you know, you're so wrapped up in your own struggle, you forget about, you know, someone else's, whatever. In a lot of the gamer culture, what I see is like, it's normal to be wrapped up in our own worlds. It's not specific to gamers, but there's a lot of gamers that I've met who are like that. Oh, I can't talk to women, I'm a loser, I'm a virgin, or whatever. They've got these stories about it. They're all made up. The same as the fucking story that Just Call of Duty. It's got a shit campaign, bro. Terrible campaign. Like, the story is not convincing at all. But it's based on true events. Our stories are based on true events. I'm a Virgin it's based on true events. I had this story of I'm a virgin and I'm a loser, so I need to fuck my way to glory. And at the cost of what? I was treating women like a means to an end. It's not how I want to live. It's not respectful to other people. It's not good for them either. You know, like this thing of being so self-absorbed, coming back to Johnny Cage, Scorpion, they're really good examples of this. And we could use other characters, but let's just stick with them for a minute. When we're so self-absorbed with what's going on in our worlds, it's creating havoc in other people's lives and our own. Havoc. You know what that word means? Chaos. You say you don't like the peace, the silence that was cultivated in this room before we started recording. It doesn't have to be in the absence of silence. You've got chaos. It's 1 or 0. It's not that. But what I was getting at with gamer culture, there's a lot of that. There's a chaos in our lives, like havoc in our lives. Our relationships suck. We're very self-centered sometimes. And we're playing video games. I'll use myself as an example. I was playing video games to escape from the havoc in my life. And what's come from analyzing these stories and being inspired by them to be different is just that. Like I said, we're proud of ourselves. Look at who we've become. But like you said, everyone has this. The gamer culture can be really different. It could be an inspirational culture. Oh, I know people who game, they're fucking committed. Look at how sick they are. Yeah, it could be that. But unfortunately, gaming's got a culture, like a stereotype associated to it. What's the stereotype?
Geeky, like, I was gonna say people like us. Geeky, yeah, like geeky guys, like just, or like losers or whatever.
Okay, yeah, let me clarify. The negative stereotype, there's positive aspects of it, but the negative stereotype, what comes with it usually, if you say if someone's a gamer, what do you assume about them? No, maybe not you, because we're different.
I get what you mean. So like antisocial or like, stuff like that. Like they lock themselves away. They're just absorbed in the game kind of thing.
And it doesn't mean that you have to become a hardcore extrovert because, gaming, no. It's not that. It's just like, again, who are we being?
But look at the profoundness in that in itself, right? We were saying before, like the world is like pointing us in a direction of like get absorbed in stuff. But then look at the contrast of it, like the stories, the people who are writing the stories to this stuff, Mortal Kombat, Zelda, Naruto, etc, etc, etc. Look at the depth. Look what you can extract from the stories in it. It's pointing us at something like bigger than us. It's pointing us at a truth, objective truth of a capital T. It's pointing us at something. So like, yeah, like it's cool. Like stuff happens in it. The world is pointing us that like just get lost in this and short attention spans and all of this kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
But look at what the actual content of the stuff, the movies, the games, the TV series, they're all telling us something else.
Believe it or not, I've not always been a hardcore person. I've not always been very intense. I had nothing to live for, nothing to stand for. I was I was beige for a long time. I had no flavour. I had a fun way of speaking always. It's just whatever. I like to talk in a certain way. I had nothing. I know nothing about me. And I've really enjoyed becoming this way, and who I'm becoming next. But what I'm getting at is like, there's a I don't even know how to explain it. There's an intensity that comes with being the opposite of the way society is normalized. It's normal to be politically correct. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be rude to people. It's just like, well, why should I use your pronouns? I'm not going to. I don't care if you like to be called whatever the fuck. I'll just use your name. You know, that's a whole different conversation. Another fucking. We could get into that forever, innit? What I'm saying is like, intensity doesn't have to be a negative thing. I'm not talking about, but just like living with love. Look at Raiden. He's stable. He's a positive impact in people's lives, and he's not fucking having it. He's not. No. No means no. Fuck you. Look at Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
She whipped Johnny Cage into shape. And not because, like, she's feminine. She's beautiful. Like, she's not having it as well. Like, she's not like, you know, come correct when you talk to me, Johnny Cage. Don't treat me like a fucking object. I like that. But she stands for something. Johnny likes that. Great. And she's also feminine. She's like, yeah, I want you to touch me and shit. It's great. But like, she's standing for something. She doesn't have to become something she's not, a man, to be able to stand for something. We don't have to become something we're not to be able to stand for something. That's what I'm getting at. In everyone's lives, like, the reason why video games are so powerful for me is you're the main character. Look at Ghost of Tsushima. The island is invaded by Mongols, people you don't like. Yeah, they're telling you, fuck you, obey our commands, blah, blah, we kill everyone. And you're one guy against an army. You got to stand for something. Who he gets to become in that, just...
Yeah, and it's also like, it's not just like, oh, I'm standing for my own life in that case, right? It's easier to just let the army just take you, kill you, whatever. Like, you got to have it. There's like something deeper than just it's about me.
Bigger than yourself.
Bigger than yourself, to fight for, to live your life by. There's a sick line in Hamilton. We'll probably come into Hamilton another time, but like, there's a sick line where the guy says something like, if you don't know what you're willing to fight for, what are you willing to die for? Something like that, right? Probably butchered that. Sorry, Hamilton fans. But get used to the butchering on this podcast, especially with me. But what I'm getting at is like this, like, if you don't have that like bigger than you thing to live your life by, do you know what I mean? It's just like,
and that's
I don't even got any words for it. It's
that's
just
where the lack of connection comes from. That's where the isolating ourselves comes from. Go.
And I was gonna say, but here's the thing. We both had that as well. We both had the part.
Because I was just about to say, that's where it came from for me. The self-isolating, the I'm going to talk to no one or whatever. And a fuck you attitude to everyone. And I said this thing to my coach. I go to Uncle. I said, Uncle, I'm hot and I'm single. Why? I don't get it. He goes, for the longest time, Sachin, you've had a sign around you, an invisible sign, an imaginary sign around your neck that says, fuck off.
That's funny. Shout out Unkush.
Shout out Unkush. I got a mad love for him. You know, he said something funny to me recently. He goes, this isn't... He says this a lot. He goes, Sachin, this isn't really coaching, is it? Like, it's just conversation. He goes, and he's fine with it. He's like, this is conversation. And he likes to make it clear, like, this isn't coaching, this is conversation. And I just find myself having more conversation with him than anything else. It's wonderful how it's evolved. I think we should leave it there for today.
Yeah, I was thinking that. And hopefully we'll get Unkush on the podcast one time as well.
No, not hopefully, we will. He's already agreed to it.
He has? Oh, you didn't tell me that. Right.
Like, keep guessing, innit?
That was a wink for those of you who can't see that side of Sachin's face on the camera.
I'm really enjoying winking lately.
It reminds me, I was watching Guardians the other day, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Rocket's like, these lot are assholes. Then he's like, winking, and they're like, oh, he's like, oh, I used the wrong eye. Oh, they saw that. Oh, that's funny. That cracked me up.
So let's end on this. Thank you for being with us in this journey of this podcast, but also living and what we're doing, Nerd Life Coaches. Is the reason why we're doing this is not just like share our love of these things, but to create with you, create your life. You don't have to come and talk to us. We'd love it. We'd really love it if you did. But take it on. See what you can do with this conversation. Ask yourself these questions. That's why we're doing it. Right?
Yeah, and the question as well to always ask yourself is like, what am I getting from this? You know, we have a lot of conversations with people day to day. always at some point during the conversation, either at the end or somewhere, what are you getting from this? Because it's great to listen and like hopefully be entertained by us, right? But like, what are you getting from it? That's what's going to be the most powerful thing. The same way that he's getting a lot from telling the story of Mortal Kombat, same way I got a lot from that one little quote in Zelda. Like, what are you getting from this for yourself? And let us know. Like, we're here for conversation, innit? Clearly. So hit us up, like, on what's our Instagram? And I don't know. Nerd Life Coaches. Just hit us up. We'll put it here.
And I want to give a massive shout out to Mick.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, he's doing incredible work. I got all the love and respect in the world for him. He is the definition of pride in his work.
Mate, do you know what? We'll get him on the podcast one day.
I'd
When
love
he's
to.
in London, we'll get him here because he's a bigger geek than both of us put together. It's funny, man.
And big shout out to Aladdin.
Yeah.
I could go on, but I'll do it on my show instead. All right, love you.
Peace.